Hi kiddos, this is Miss Stark with another video. This time we're going to be looking at operating with scientific notation, INB. So we have been learning how to write numbers in scientific notation. Now we're going to actually use some adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with these large and very, very tiny numbers. So we're going to start with adding and subtracting. I'm going to show you two ways to solve them. And I'm going to do it with one of them, and then you'll do it with the other. So with adding and subtracting, you're going to rewrite the numbers so they have the same exponent. Sometimes you can just skip this. Like for this one, you'll skip it. For this one, you'll have to rewrite it. And I will show you how to do this one. Okay. Your next step is to either add or subtract the decimals and leave the exponents as they are. Okay, and then after you get your answer, if your decimal is 10 or bigger, you will have to rewrite it. So there's only one number in front of the decimal. So you will have to change your exponent and make sure it's written in scientific notation. Okay, so let's start with this one. I'm going to show you the two ways I would solve this. Either way gets you the same answer. So let's start. I do have this written down, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to start by writing what the problem is, which is 9.8 times 10 to the 4th. Oops. Then we have minus 3.48 times 10 to the 3rd. Okay, so as you see, I have different exponents. So the first way I can do this is by changing the exponents. There's two ways I can change it. I can change the 3 to a 4 over the 4 to a 3. So if I was to change the 4 to a 3, that means I have to move the decimal 1 to the right. So it'd be 98 minus 3.48. And this is all going to be in parentheses. And then we'll have copy, paste, times 10 to the 3rd. Now, if we were doing the other way, where we're making this 3 a 4, we would move this one more to the left. So it would be 9.8 minus 0.348. And instead of a 3, this would be a 4. Both will give me the same answer. I can show that by pulling up my calculator. So if we have 98 minus 3.48, that gets me 94.52 equals 94.52. And then I'll just times 10 to the 3rd. Whoops, I want equals, not minus. And this would equal, let's do the same math. So we have 9.8 minus 0.348. Same numbers, just the decimals in a different spot. 9.452. Okay, and then we would change this into a scientific notation, so we have to move it 1 to the left, which would make that 3 is now a 4. So these would look exactly the same. So let me put that down, that this would basically equal this. Okay, and I did say I would show you another way. So this is the way I do it, because these other ways are it's hard for me. So what I would do is I would put these in standard form and then put the answer I get into scientific notation. So this is 10 to the fourth, which means I'm moving this decimal 4 places to the right. So 9, and then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Putting zeros where I don't have any digits. And then I'm going to minus, and then I'm going to put the next number in standard form, which is 3, and then I need 3, move the decimal 3, so 1, 2, 3. I'm putting a 0 where I need it. Okay, so that, let's pull up my calculator really quickly. So 98123 minus 3480, that equals 94520. 94520, which equals, in scientific notation, my decimal's right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be this. So all 3 ways gave me the same answer. You pick whatever works for you. I personally like just putting it in standard form, and then once I get my answer, putting that in scientific notation. You can do any one of these to solve the other problem. So I'm going to click insert, and it's going to make it for me, and it put it over here. I want it over here. And there we go. That is adding and subtracting for you. So multiplying and dividing are done the same way. If you remember, if we're multiplying not decimals, if you're multiplying exponents, you're going to add them. If you're dividing exponents, you're going to subtract them. And then you just multiply and divide the decimals. So here for multiplying, you're going to multiply the decimals. Like I said, multiply the decimals. Step 2, you're going to add the exponents. And then you're going to rewrite the final answer in, guess what? Scientific notation. And then here, it's the same thing, but instead of multiply, you're going to divide. Instead of add, you're going to subtract. And then your answer is going to be in scientific notation. If I can spell scientific right. So right click, scientific, there we go. Notation. Okay. So for these, you're going to multiply. I'll set it up for you guys, so just to kind of show you what I mean. So here, you're going to do, we have 7.1 times 10 to the negative 5th times 6.5 times 10 shift 6. Whoops, an extra one I don't need, to the negative 6. I use a different symbol for multiplication in between just to show you that these are 2 separate numbers. So you can do the whole thing where you decide, oh, let's put them into standard form and do it that way. However, since there is no need for the exponents to be the same, all you end up doing is just multiplying the exponents. So, whoops, almost forgot my parentheses. So 7.1 times 6.5. And then you're going to times that by 10. Shift 6. I'm going to put parentheses here because you're going to do negative 5 plus negative 6. So you find out what this equals, then you find out what this equals, and your answer would be the 2 of them combined. And then you're going to do the same thing for division. Let's move this down. You're going to do the same thing for division, except instead of multiplying, you're going to divide, and instead of add, you're going to subtract. So here it was 1.94 times 10, whoops, 10, why does it keep clicking the 4? 10 to the third. Then I'm going to do divide by 5 times 10 to the negative 2. Okay. So then, just like the other one, you're going to have your parentheses. You're going to divide the decimals first. So 1.94 divided by 5 in that order. You're not going to switch the order. So you're going to end up with a decimal as your answer, no whole numbers, unfortunately. And then you'll find out that you're going to multiply, because scientific notation is always times 10 to a power, and then shift 9, whoops, shift 6, then shift 9, and you're going to do 3 minus negative 2, which ends up being 3 plus 2. And then you're going to solve for that one. Remember to always rewrite your answers into scientific notation. Scientific notation is where you have one number in front of the decimal. And that's all you got to do. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this video has helped, and I'll see you in the next one.